What do Angkor Wat and Petra have in common besides the fact that they're both like incredible feats of engineering and beautiful, stunning places? I've been lucky enough to travel to both sites this year, and what's really interesting is that both of these were built in a unique way. They were built from the top down. Let me explain. So we can take a different site like Machu Picchu, which I'm lucky enough to be going back to in a month. Shout out to my Historical Travel Society. But anyway, Machu Picchu was built from the bottom up. I mean, literally, right? They're like down at the bottom of the mountain. They have to drag the stones up, and then they build it in the more traditional way. Think like a Lego, right? You're building the bottom layer, the next layer, the next layer. You get how this works. Okay. But Petra and Angkor Wat used a different technique. What they did was that they would stack the stones in Angkor Wat. They're bringing the sandstone from 50 kilometers away. They're bringing it on a riverboat. Then elephants are carrying it. They're using bamboo rollers, and they're using people to stack up the stone just in the basic shape. At Petra, they don't even have to do that because it's all sandstone that's already there. And so what they're doing is they're building up like a sand dune, essentially. Over at Angkor Wat, they're stacking the stone, and then they're building up earth to make essentially like a big hill with the stone in the middle. Or in Petra, a big kind of sand dune with the sandstone in the middle. And then they just clear the very top part and they put in some scaffolding. At Petra, you can actually see the holes where the scaffolding would go in, and then they start carving. They carve the top layer. And then when they're done with that layer, they dig away a little more of the earth, they dig away a little more of the sand, and then they carve the next layer, and on and on and on until they get all the way to the bottom. What this means at Angkor Wat specifically is that they stack all the stone up, and so even though it's something like 87 million different stones, they're able to basically carve it almost like it's one piece. And so you get this incredibly intricate carving where it just looks like it flows from one to the next. Obviously you can see where the stones are set, and they have this incredibly strong glue made from the resin of a chicken tree. And other things as well. So this incredibly strong glue to kind of hold it together. In Petra, they don't need that. It's just the solid sandstone. But either way, they're able to get a lot more intricacy in the carving because they're able to basically approach it like Michelangelo would, right? A big block of marble.